first one, we're going to do a step-by-step addition formula. So we're going to start out by launching Microsoft Excel, opening a blank workbook, and selecting the first A1 cell. So I'm going to minimize my screen, and I'm going to pop up Microsoft Excel. Again, Debbie, Janet, I do encourage you to use your own computer and follow along. That way you will get the first-hand experience with these tasks. My computer opened up to the Home tab, which is probably what's going to happen on yours too, unless you change the default settings. But you do see that by default, the spreadsheet opened up as blank. It will have default columns and rows, and it will have a couple sheets or worksheets available for us to use. It will have no name. It will be called Workbook 1 for starters. I'm going to go ahead and click on cell A1 as described, as instructed in my instructions. Again, feel free to use your handout. We are on page number 6, step-by-step addition. And once we select A1, we're going to start typing in our first formula. We're going to type equal sign 25 plus 15. And then we'll press enter or the tab key. Both tab and enter will give us the result. What you will notice is that Excel automatically displayed the result in the cell. And if I would click on the cell again, then in the formula bar on the top, I will see the actual formula that we entered versus in the cell we see the result. So, was that hard? It's not too hard, right? So you just did it, right? You just created your first formula, and obviously it's just gonna get only better after this. So you're doing good, and keep up the good work. So let's go ahead and follow along with the instructions and do another exercise. We're gonna select the cell B1 this time, and we're gonna key in plus sign and then 18 plus 35. After that, again, we'll press either the tab or the enter key, and the computer will automatically display the result, which is 53. So did you notice the difference between how I went about my formula in cell A1 and B1? Jenna, did you happen to notice what was the difference?
The difference between what?
Between cell A1 and cell B1. How did I create the formula? Did I do anything different between those two?
The difference is minus.
Correct. In the first one, in cell A1, I used the equal sign to start my formula, which is really the default way for creating a formula. Versus in the second one, in cell B1, I used the plus sign and then entered the numbers. However, the computer automatically switched my first plus sign into the equal sign and used the algorithm to calculate. So the Excel software was able to make that change for me, recognizing what my ultimate goal was. So,
could you show us that again?
Yes. So for example, let's go ahead and select cell C1. And in that one, let's start a new formula with an equal sign and do 10 plus 2. And either tab or enter will give us the result of 12. And now let's select the cell D1, and in this one, we would key in a plus sign, 12 plus 12, and enter. And that will give the correct result of 24. So really, ultimately, you have a couple different ways to go about it, and it's your choice how you do it. And that's what's called an autocorrect formula or built-in function in Excel. So really, I just showed you a little extra thing there. Now let's go ahead and use the second row, A2, B2, for practicing creating a little subtraction formula. In this one, we will use the same spreadsheet, and we will type in equal 109 189 minus 125. And we'll click Enter or Tab. Excel will display the result, which is 64 in our cell A2. According to our handout, however, on this one too, we could go about this a little differently. We could do equal sign for starting our formula, then do a minus sign for 125, and then plus sign for 189. And when we click Enter, we realize that the computer was able to perform the calculation even in this format. So again, a couple different ways to do something. It's always good to know that options exist within Excel, just like in all the other software that you are already familiar with from Microsoft Office. Going forward, go ahead and on your own solve the step-by-step subtraction example number 2 on page 8. Using the same workbook, select the A5 cell, key in 456 minus 98, and then press Enter. Can you please tell me what is the result? So it would be 456 minus 98 on page 8 of your handouts. Debbie?
358.
Oh, wonderful. Perfect. Good job. Thank you. Janet, go ahead and complete that transaction, and then I will call on you to solve the second example on that same slide, which is 545 minus 13 minus 8. Press Enter or Tab, and the result will be displayed in cell A6. And it should be 524. Did you get that, Janet?
524?
Yeah, 524. All right, well, thank you. Moving on, we're going to do a multiplication. And for that, we're going to use the next row, A3. And obviously, the sign for multiplication is going to be your little star. That's an easy pitfall to fall into, so be careful. Don't use the X, use the little star. Those are always easy to confuse because sometimes in the past we were used to using X in handwriting for multiplication. So it's something to watch for so you avoid that mistake. So we're going to use the same spreadsheet. We're going to type in equal sign. That starts the formula 125 star and 8 or 4. And the result will be displayed automatically upon pressing Enter or Tab, and that's going to be 500. So again, go ahead and do on your own the second example on page 9. That would be select cell D number 3, key in the equal sign, and then 2 multiplied by 7.5 and times 2 equals. The result is 30. Debbie, Janet, how did you do on that? Did you get the result 30?
No.
All right. Well, maybe let's go ahead and try again.
Okay.
Type in equal, then 2 times 7.5 times 2. So where do you think you went wrong before?
Does it matter how I type in 7.5?
Well, 7, it should be 7.5. Maybe you did.
I'm getting an error.
Oh, that's the reason.
Oh.
Very good. So be careful, Janet. Debbie just found another little pitfall, a great example of what to watch for in Excel. We want to type in 7.5 for 7.5, not any other format, because that is the numeric format that the computer will recognize. All right, on your own, please go ahead and solve the division example on page number 10, and that you would be using the forward slash for those calculations. Forward slash being the operator, the numerical operator that we use for division within Microsoft Excel. After you're done with that, you should be getting, let's go ahead, I'm going to follow the instructions just like you. Selecting cell D7 equals 795 divided by 45, and that equals 1766.